Peekaboos, here I am. I'm in my office. My belief sign. I just noticed my belief sign is crooked. Uh, good morning. Good morning. I finally am able to sit in my office. It is wonderful. It is wonderful. I did have my hair down, but it's warm. It's still warm and it's a little bit humid today. And but it's like 18. It's 18 degrees. I never thought I'd be so happy at 18 degrees Celsius because I mean being a valley girl, I'm from Penticton, you know it's warm in the morning and 23 is nice in the morning and stuff. Here I think our high is going to be 27 today and there's still rain in the forecast. So we'll see. We'll see. Rain tomorrow for sure. But what a release. What a release in energy that was with that rain, I have to say. It was just the downpour of it where it just sort of started and I was sitting outside and then hail came and then all of a sudden it was like, the thunder got louder and the lightning was just cracking and so it was really a releasing. There's a huge release when it happens. When you have a heat wave for so long, when the rain comes and everybody's like, "Oh, yay, it's rain." It's like, yeah, it's nice, but we forget how powerful water is. We forget how powerful when that water starts raging and those flash floods start coming and the water can take away. Like the water can, and we've seen it here before in Calgary where water can damage and take over a building and take over areas instantly. Almost it seems like very instantly, right? And I reminded you of this, the Australian spring. Yeah, and it just comes in. And then of course there's been wildfires and a lot of with all of this energy, and the shenanigans within the heavens, it's causing a lot of pressure on people, causing pressure to happen. And with the moon in Taurus wants stability, wants to feel good, wants to have things, and the sun is like, but are you stable? Are you sure? Cancer does want stability, but it's water, right? It's not earth. Earth is, here is my stability, here is where I stand. Water, especially Cancer, is rushing water. It's not still water, it's rushing water. Cancer's rushing water. And a lot of times people don't realize that. They think, oh, well, Cancer's so emotional, they're all this. But the energies are, it's like this water coming down and there could be a boulder in the middle of the river and the water veers out on either side, and this is where the energies are coming in. It's veering off on either side. Which side are you going to? Which side are you, where are you allowing the water to take you? Where are you allowing for this energy to allow for you to go? Because there is, on the on one of the streams, there's anger, there's frustration, there's overwhelmness, and this is where this energy of accumulation and fire comes into it, and all of this, like fire and water mixture, is not really good. Too much earth and water is not very good. So there is this energy that's coming in, and there's craziness. All of a sudden, mandates are lifted, mask restrictions are lifted. And we have to also understand when things like this, when you're finally given your freedom, it's like freedom, yeah. Craziness happens because people don't think. And the energies in the heavens are looking at, you need to think. You need to take some time for kindness of yourself, because that Cancer sun is really getting you to look at your own integrity. Look at your own self with how you are creating your reality. This is getting you to pay attention to the stream, to the rapids, to the energies as you go along. That's what it's doing. It's not like a lot of freedom was taken with Alberta lockdown. No, but the thing is, you're right. But people weren't allowed to go to the bars in full capacity. Bars were in full capacity last night. Fights were crazy. Because alcohol and drugs come into it. Massive people in the streets. And then of course the rain came, and then people came inside. The gyms are totally packed. So this is where a lot of times frustrations come in. And where they're on the 5th, I think they're voting here in Calgary whether to keep the masks or not. I mean, it is pathetic. In doing so, if Menchie does that, it decides that he wants to vote to keep the masks, I think he's going to have a real revolt around his own house, because people are done. Like, there's a feeling of doneness there. So there is this overwhelmed feeling that's happening. And it's not only here in Alberta. I know in BC and Ontario. Like, fuck Ontario, man. You guys are so freaking scared out there. There's such fear. And if the propaganda, I mean, you guys really got sucked into it all of, if you don't get vaccinated, if you don't do this, and if you don't do that, you're going to die. So that fear has really, when you oppress people for a long time, they end up just conceding to the oppression. And that's what you're seeing also. A lot of people who've conceded to the oppression, and we're going to see more of this coming in. So this is propelling. I mean, we do have the sun sextiling Uranus, so there's a lot of propulsion of us to go forward in going forward in creating our pathway, and in creating this newness, because the doors are opening there for us, especially spiritually, mundanely. The doors are opening. What are you wanting to create? What are you wanting to do? Is there work to be done? Yes, there's work to be done. Coming through it is going to help you with courage and a determination to move forward in a very positive, loving, in a very positive way, in a way that brings for you the joy and the love, right? So this is standing in, this is where it's like, I need to fill my cup in what I need to do. I can't just start filling everybody else's cup. And I know there's a lot of feeling of resentment within communities within in my country. But the outside of the world looks at our country and they see beauty and they see substance, and there's that's within our country too. And just 1 second. Bye, Steve. Of course, I have to say goodbye, my husband. There is that it is a nutty world, and we're stepping into the power of our souls. And in the chaos, it seems to be everywhere. And seeing yourself with others, and seeing yourself that you are amongst hundreds of students, Thanks, Candace. And this is, bringing in I got gravity coming in, of us coming into the grounding, coming into that energy. There is a lot of shake up happening. I know the world's coming, things are going on there. And this is where we're kind of like on, I don't know if you've ever been on a Tilt-A-Whirl ride, and I feel like we're kind of on this Tilt-A-Whirl ride, and it's taking us through all these, ups and downs and spins, and we're trying to maneuver our way through. But we have to take those moments and come into our soul, our spirit, our creativity, so that we can walk through. And it brings, and when we do, it brings us the courage. It brings us that creativity and joy and bliss. but it is the walking through that we have to do. Um, there's a lot of horrific things that have happened just in the last 48, 72 hours in just my sending out blessings to the souls who passed away in the fire in Chestermere. Sending out prayers to those who feel like their heart is filled with such pain that they are blaming others for that pain. There was a feed yesterday, and somebody was saying that, well, it's probably the church that's burning down the house, the church. Just an FYI, people. The Catholic Church is not going to burn down its churches. It's just not. And especially if there is any information in there, that's not where things are kept. So, do some studying on what the theology and what the church does. I mean, they have archives and information. I mean, they have a whole library underneath the Vatican, and you can't even get access to that, to those, to a lot of the information there. And some of the information there goes all the way back to the 1500s and even to the 1100s and 1200s of information that a lot of mystics were writing about our world and giving us information about how to live in the future, how to live in this world, right? So when we see even ancient civilizations writing the hieroglyphs, that are upon the wall. I mean, the Mayans were telling us about, after December 21st, 2012, that things are going to change for us. And the old era has ended. And in that new era, there is going to be chaos, and there's going to be traumatic experiences in order for us to create a new world that is sustainable for us. Right? Because what they have in there. I know. There's even Dante. Dante is interesting. And Dante's theories. And not all of his theories, some of it are out there, but there's a lot that isn't. And a lot of it has been, put away. Same with Galileo. I mean, when he was under house arrest, some of his stuff all was confiscated by the church. So there's, archives and information that they did have. So there's information out there. And I feel for many of us, it's about coming into our truth, coming into our kindness, coming into our courage to go forward. And what do you want to plant? I mean, I keep coming back to that. When the Blue Flame, the course that I'm teaching, and it's coming up on the 7th, the course that I'm teaching about the Blue Flame is this, it's such a pure essence of the candle, of when you see that blue flame, it just burns away anything and any element, like it just burns it away. And there's just that beautiful essence of that blueness. It is aligned with Archangel Michael. So it's aligned with this purity of light that says, this is who I am. This is my truth. This is what I want to step out to be and do. And it could be, maybe you want to step out and be a comedian. Maybe you want to step out and say, I really want to, whatever. But that's what the Blue Flame is. And in the course, what I'm doing is that I want to come into a place of focus and bring to you a place where you can begin to focus with understanding what your spirit and soul are, to connections with the ancestors. And as you are connecting to your ancestors, it allows for you to come into an alignment for your own self and bringing in bringing in that of prayer too, because I think all of that intertwines with how we need to discover our earth walk that we need to do. And when we discover this essence, sometimes it's not always an easy one, because we have beliefs within us. We have guilt and shame that comes with us that we hang on to, that doesn't allow us to go forward, right? And our ancestors are there to help us. I mean, they've walked it. And there's some powerful ancestors that you may not even know of that are there wanting to help you. One of my ancestors, and she's popped up a few times, and I think her O'Brien was her maiden last name. So she was a descendant from the O'Brien line, and I think her name was Mary O'Brien, but and then Mary DeMerick. There's a lot of Jameses in my family, so there's a lot of James. James was a common name used in my family. The energies of her, because of her determination to stand out and to stand up for, right? She stood, I mean, what I do know, and I remember my father mentioning a little bit about her, was her determination of saying, you know what, this is my belief. This is what I believe. Because she actually, I think she left the church and became a Presbyterian at the time. And that was just, being in Ireland, and she left the Catholic Church, and she was forging her own. She was forging her own truth of what she believed to be, this is my divine right. And this is back, I think she was back in the, I'm going to say 1543. So this is a woman that's standing up for her own convictions within her own life, and standing up. And the thing is that you got to look at your ancestors on how they had to stand up for many of their own convictions through transgressions that have happened to them, where they can come in and say, hey, I want to give you some power. It's like power to your car, power to the fuel, in order for you to create a beautiful life. Because that's what all the work that they've done, all the work I'm doing, all the work that you're doing, you're working to create a better life, not only for yourself, but for your children and your children's children. And that's what our ancestors did in wanting to create something better for you. And when Candace is saying she's freaked out, are you freaked out because they want to come in and create something better for you? Are you afraid to step out into that courage and that power that is a part of you already? But now, in igniting your blue flame, you're going to ignite that in saying, yeah, this is who I am. This is my power. This is this is my truth and my authentic self. And I'm embracing my truth and my authentic self in order for me to create the world that I so desire for my children. I'm filling my cup with this so that I am able to bring forth what I need to bring forth for my family. And it's not, and this is not going sometimes, and then it outreaches beyond your family. But that happens organically. That happens in a way that, because it's your truth, it's your essence, it's your glow. It's your glow. And your glow just reaches out. It's when you step up, and I've seen it when Jen down in Texas stepped out and said, I am leaving a top radio show that's syndicated, and I'm leaving that, which pays me a lot of money, to create my own podcast, because I want to be able to bring in my own self-expression and not be held by some other conforms. So I don't want to be held by other restraints, what others say I need to do, because I have more to say. I have more to do. I have more to bring to the world. So in tapping into this energy and into that, ignites this blue flame within you. And when it ignites this blue flame within you, you begin to just do it. You just do it. There's work, yes, in creating it. So what do I need to do to create my podcast? Well, I need to do it outside my home because I have too many children, or I need to do it in a place where I'm not going to be disturbed, so, and I want to do comedy. I love it because I make people laugh, right? This is like, I make people laugh. I want to go out there and see if I can do this. So stepping out and doing that. And sometimes, that's that energy, going out and doing that. For me, it's creating and doing meditations. I really want to promote meditations more. So I have my meditation starting July the 5th. That meditation is really, if you've taken the karmic release, this meditation is going to help to bring into closure or allow for you to close a lot of doorways and open some really beautiful ones. So it's cutting off some ties and releasing them so you can step into that of your courage and allowing for you to walk and become into that creativity and joy and bliss. I'm thinking of many artists, that I just need to do my art. There's a beautiful, and I've known her for years. She worked with me at Starbucks in Penticton, and her name's Jenny. And she went to art school. Like, her thing was art. She loves art. She's very creative. All she wanted to do is become an artist. Well, now she has a studio in Penticton. And she paints and she brings in other artists. She goes to schools and she teaches creativity to children. This is her stepping into her element, like stepping beyond, and the thing is, one of the things is that I thought my children traumatized her from working with children, right? I really thought my kids traumatized her. Thank God they didn't, because she had to babysit them once, and they just did some. Oh, she thought she'd have a great evening with them, but my boys decided something else. But anyways, it got handled. My dad stepped in, and they they knew not to do shit like that again. But this is the connection, right? And being able to paint a mural. Kim Tabay is another one. She's down in California. She's another beautiful artist. And she stepped out. I mean, she's a single mom. She worked in bars as a bartender. Because I got to be a bartender. This is what I got to do. This is my mundane thing. My artistry's a side gig. She's a Virgo with a Scorpio sun. She's a Virgo sun and a Scorpio moon. So she's got some really like energy within inside of herself, because it's like, this is what I got to do. But stepping out, I mean, in her element and painting, holy shit, her paintings are absolutely, I mean, she's the one who helped me to step into my artistry and get me to create some of the art that's behind me. That's her blue flame. It's that part. And it could be, oh, I want to write a book, or I want to be able to shop for the elderly. And it's not that you're going, some of it, like, it may be something that this is just what I'm going to do. And it may not be a paying gig, right? So you might have a thing like, you know what, I really want to start shopping for the elderly and helping people. Or, there's a new family on my street. So helping the young girl get a job, like just going out there and being of service in some way, because it's something that is outside of yourself. And that's what the blue flame is. And people are afraid of going outside of themselves. That's why you have the chaos that is happening right now, because people have been kept in a container, but yet there's no direction. With the blue flame, when you're stepping into that direction, if you've worked with Archangel Michael is going to give you direction. He's an angel of direction. He allows you, he shows you a pathway. Here you go. I will cut away all that holds you back if you want to go upon this road, and I will help to guide you. I will help you. I'll protect you. If you want to go on the other road, that's up to you. I will still be there to help and guide you. But there are things on that road that you may have to learn on a harder issue because you want to self-sabotage yourself. So then they take it back and they say, okay, we just have to wait. So here we go with this energy that's coming in right now. And this is where, even with the sun squaring Chiron, it's kind of weird. It's this weird kind of, healing type of energy that wants to come in. And Chiron wants to come in and heal and wants to come in and bring forth. Yet it's in fire. And it's squaring water. And it's like, oh, okay. It's difficult because we may not want to go into that radical emotional change. It's like going on a sweat lodge. Like if you've ever been on a sweat, that's radical change. Because when you go in there and they bring in that heat and singing the rounds and going into that heat, the first time I've ever done a sweat lodge, it was a lot. Like it was more than I expected. And girls, I mean, they have different things, different rules. Women usually go on a sweat and men go on a separate sweat. They usually don't have it mixed, depending on nation, right? So going in there and I wasn't expecting that amount of heat and the heat to happen. And so that was, the first round came and then, then they opened up and you could have water to make sure that you're drinking a lot of water. And I chose to stay in. And I said, let me stay in. So I chose to stay in. The second round came and I could feel, and I was getting into the drumming and the rounds. And I could have swore to God that I could hear. And I thought part of the sweat lodge was others on the outside singing. And I could hear others on the outside singing. I could hear their footsteps dancing on the outside of our lodge. And then came the third round, and I started like, okay, this is, I don't see anybody out there, so maybe they go off where they go off and get their water and wait for the next round. And I could hear it. And by the fourth round, I asked the woman who was holding the lodge, I said, who's outside? And she looked at me. She goes, what do you mean, who's outside? I said, who's outside? She goes, there's nobody outside. And the woman next to me, who was like, comforting me through all of this, absolutely fabulous woman. She goes, there isn't anybody out there, sweetie. I said, yes, there is. There's somebody out there. They're dancing around the lodge. They're dancing and they're singing. And she goes, you connected to spirit. You connected to something. And she goes, you're going to be gifted something very powerful in 5 days. And I lost my job to set forth on this. I lost my job to do this. I didn't think it was a gift, but it was. It was a gift. And sometimes those things that you think are fearful and crazy and overwhelming, and it is a radical and emotional change, but it's a gift of having you step into your power. And that's the essence of this energy coming forth. Craziness, yeah, there's going to be craziness and chaos and whatever out there, but this is bringing in truth for you. This is bringing in determination for you. This is getting you to do the changes you need to do. down my hall in my basement. Yes, it is. It's so powerful. But I could swear to God they were out there dancing. But they were. They were dancing. It was spirit. It was spirit dancing. And that's what spirit is doing now. Spirit is dancing in order for us to awaken our souls, to awaken to our essence, because this isn't a time to hide away. This isn't a time for us to be nilly-willy and say, oh, that's just too much for us. Because I'm getting emotional. Our ancestors are dancing for us. Sorry. Unexpected. And your ancestors have created a power for you to step into who you are. It is not to deny yourself of the power and the glory of who you are. That's the power. That's the power. It fills you. It fills you with such essence. It fills you with such essence. And that's what people are afraid of, is to be filled with this. And sometimes it makes no sense. And it isn't to go out to be harmful or rude to people. This is about kindness and love. That's what it is. It's about kindness and it's about love and courage of you bringing it forth. That's that course. And that's why they're coming to me. And I can feel coming to me, through me, within me, in order to ignite others. And it could be you want to become the best doing pottery, and just create beautiful bowls. And it sounds like, oh well, that's how could that be a blue flame? Because you're reaching out beyond who you are. Reaching out beyond. So when you reach beyond from who you are, that essence of who you are, oh man, there is joy. There is bliss. And it is beautiful. And it is chaotic. And it is unpredictable. And it is annoying as hell. And it's frustrating as hell. But through that all, you come into that, it's that rainstorm after all the heat. And yeah, it washes away things. It washes stuff away. But there's such a cleansing that needed to happen. That's what it is. It's 6 evenings. It's 6 evenings. And it is recorded. So you are able, and there's handouts. There's weekly handouts. So, and sometimes with the handouts, you might take a while, or handouts are where, the prayers are in there. I wrote a prayer to our ancestors. I don't know if I have it. I'll just give you an example of what one of the prayers that came in, if I can find it. So the prayer for the ancestral spirit is asking for guidance. And what came to me is, I get praised and thanksgiving to the omnipotent creator. I give praise to the light and energy of the four directions. I get praised for the light of my life and the energy of the air I breathe. I offer you food as a sign of gratitude for all that I have. I give praise so that your spirit may grow stronger and more powerful. I offer you a flower, a gift of the earth, so that you will know there are descendants who remember and respect your presence. I ask you, Spirit Mother, Father, brother, sister, and friend, to remember me in your travels. Protect me, guide me, and assist me, and all members of my family, living and dead. I'm in need of your assistance at all times to overcome challenges and obstacles with money, health, employment, and my own mortal progress. I thank you for the guidance, and I thank you for the intercession in this matter. And then you fill in your intercession. That's one of the prayers that came to me. And that's part of the blue flame. The thing is, a lot of times people think that your ancestors don't want you to have money. They do. They know that you need something to live and sustain. They want you to have beauty. They want you to have good health and relationships. They don't want you to be in a place that pulls you down. They want you to be into a place that ignites you. That's where they want. Well, this also helped me tap back into my power. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, Holly. It is. It's because of the toxic relationships that blocked you somehow. And that's why you bring in the energies of your ancestors. Because when you have had toxic relationships, right? They understand that is the ending of, there's an ending there that you've had to release in order to go forward. So in coming into your power, you're igniting this. And if you've ever seen, like, with glass blowers, and the light gets either so intense, right? But there's this essence with the blue flame that gets it to mold and gets you to let go of anything that is not in your alignment. And it's not about, this is many times, I mean, when we're working with this, it's not necessarily karmic. This is just you coming forth. And many times when I've looked at the heart of Venus, every time I've pulled up like information about the heart of Venus, it was always blue. There's a reason why, sometimes, the Virgin Mary wears blue. She ignites in that power. You see that. You see many other goddesses come in like blues and purples, and because they're coming into the higher energies of light and coming forth with that power of light. So, oh, wow. That was, I'm going to send you guys out so much love today, and go today with kindness for yourself and kindness for others. That's where this day is. It's a day of kindness. And I'm going to send you guys out so much love. And it's my spirit that allowed me to be transparent today. So may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be. Blessed be everybody. We'll talk to you later.